Well, unfortunately, here we are again with the wiring harness out of the car. I was having an issue the last time I ran the car with the engine coolant temperature spiking to the max. And so when it would do that, it's kind of cold outside. When it would do that, when the engine was warming up, it would lose all its cold enrichment and start trying to die and just not run well at all. So I took the harness out to try to figure out if there was a short somewhere. I think that it's shorted to the 5-volt rail somewhere. So that coolant temp sensor just sees a. I'll show you what it is here. So the coolant temp sensor here, and this is another one that I've got. Just sees it gets 5 volts on one side, and then the other side is connected to a signal back. So the amount of current that comes back based on the resistance of this is your signal for your engine coolant temperature. So I've got it worked out that the way that it's scaled, you'd need a 5-volt on it to see the max temperature. So that'd be like the resistance of this sensor is at 0. So what I did was I took the harness out and applied 12 volts to it, just like it would be in the car. Bent wires around and tried to figure out what was going on with it. Was not able to replicate the situation. So I'll take this opportunity, I guess, to clean up some wiring, wire in my flex fuel sensor too, since I've got it out. And then I left kind of this, here's where the firewall is, and then this is the engine side. I left these wires open for the time being, so I need to tape those up and stuff. And I think I'm gonna try just running the wiring inside the ECU to a different pin and see if that helps. If that doesn't help, I'm gonna connect the spare engine coolant temp sensor separately out wiring completely separate from this back to the ECU and see if that fixes it. Then at least I can narrow it down to the wiring harness and try to figure out what's going on there. But I'm not in any huge hurry because it's been it was -4 Fahrenheit this morning, and a couple nights ago it was -18 Fahrenheit. So you're talking about temperatures getting up to about 5 or something like that. So it's not much fun to work in an unheated garage right now. So I've got this laid out in my office, hoping to have things sorted out. I've got my wiring diagram here. I'm just kind of working through stuff, and so I got the reverse light, the reverse switch wired up, so the reverse light should work now, which I didn't have before. I got the flex fuel sensor at least plug wired in. I don't have it plumbed into the car yet, but I'll do that later. I'm probably going to run all new fuel lines when I do that. What else do I need to do? I got to get my converter that converts the 3-cylinder, the tach, speed, and engine coolant temp to something the stock insight gauges can understand. Alright, so a couple days have gone by, and I've gone through the harness and made those changes I just talked about. Next step is to drag this all out and put it in the car, and hopefully some of my issues will be fixed. I mentioned this converter box here. It's really just cobbled in there, but it's a kind of a prototype because I didn't build it exactly the way the guy who designed it had in mind. So we'll see if that works. And I hope to give you another car running video in the next several days.